Yo, what's up YouTube? What's up all the wonderful drivers? You guys are welcome to the Driverpreneur channel. Yeah, I know I'm sweating. I just finished doing a dirty job, like a maintenance job. And I want to show you exactly how you too as a driver or a car owner can do this very simple maintenance, which is the oil change of your engine. You know, the oil change and maintenance, it requires you do it like every now and then. So I'll be showing you exactly how I did it. So, and some of the safety precautionary measures I took in completing this car maintenance, this routine car maintenance. So guys, stay tuned.
This sound is dedicated to all drivers that work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oba, I see you. Lucky Admiralty, running all night shift, sleeping on the traffic light. Nobody really see your pain. Alright, here we go. Again, another trip, long trip. Oh, this is...
Yo, what's up YouTube? Yeah, this is going to be a voice cover because I actually went through the process of changing my oil before I did the introduction video and all. Yeah, so in this oil change video, which is a car maintenance tip video, I'll be showing you the exact process I use in changing my oil. It's not difficult. Every driver out there can do it, and once you do this, it will give you confidence to want to do other type of car maintenance. Yeah, so what you need to do an oil change is you need a jack, you need the stones to wedge your car. I must warn you, try to jack your car on a level surface to avoid your car from tilting and falling over. Because in this particular video, when I was doing mine, my vehicle was not parked on a very flat surface. So jacking it, the vehicle tilted and fell to the front, which is a very dangerous thing, it almost destroyed my jack, so I had to readjust and then get a bigger stone to wedge the tire behind for avoiding it from falling over. So once you have all these kind of stones to wedge your vehicle, I would also sound this again. Make sure it is not a hollow block. Make sure it is a strong concrete, so you can't afford a vehicle falling on you when you go under to lose the sump. Yes, so once you have your jack, you have the stones, you give the car a very good lift over the ground. Why are you jacking the car over the ground? You are jacking it so you can have enough room for you to go under the car to lose the sump of the vehicle. Yes, so once you sufficiently jack the vehicle to a very reasonable height above the ground, another thing you need for this maintenance is you need an old mattress, either a mattress or a mat or something that can enable you lie on the floor without getting your clothes so dirty. So you put that under the ground, then you enter under the car. Please remember to secure your car, not with the jack, but with a very strong material. It can be, strong wood or strong metals. In this case, I used bricks. I used concrete bricks, not hollow bricks. So you need to go under the car and check for the exact type of nut or screw you'll be using to lose the sump. You'll be losing the sump so that the old oil inside it can drain out from the engine. Yeah, so in this case, I'll be needing a 12 spanner. However, the spanner I got was not able to lose my vehicle sump, so I had to use a socket, a 12 socket. That was what loosed the nut. Yeah, so I had to get the socket from a close-by mechanic. This is what the socket looks like. It's just it's also like a spanner, but it can hold on to the nut more firmly. So make sure you have a pan or a bucket or whatever to take out the oil that will drain off from the engine. Make sure you have it right sitting down right under that sump. Another item you need to lose out your oil filter, if your hand can't lose it, if it's so tight, is a chain. There's a chain that can be done by welders. You can also get this from mechanic workshop. You can ask them to borrow you. You need to lose your oil filter depending on your vehicle. Some vehicles have their oil filter very lightly tied onto the engine, and oil filter varies in terms of position where it can be found on the car. For this one, is right on top of the engine, very easy to locate, while some have their own under the engine, some have it on the side. You can attempt to use your hand at first to try to lose it. If it doesn't lose, then you can go get a chain like this item I'm using, or a oil filter spanner. There's a special spanner for losing oil filter. So you need it to lose your oil filter so you can replace the oil filter. An oil change is not complete without the change of the oil filter. If you use the same oil filter from the previous service, you just have the new oil contaminated by the old oil. So you definitely need to change the oil filter. I had to tighten the chain very well before it could eventually loosen. We need to give credit to the technicians out there, the car technicians out there. They are really trying. It's not easy. These things require a lot of strength, a lot of patience, and you need to be very careful so you don't end up hurting yourself. There's some very sharp items on this vehicle, on vehicles that can cut you, bruise your hand, so you need to be very careful. So eventually I lose the oil filter. As you can see, eventually shifted. So once I lose it with the chain, it could easily come off. See, this is the old oil filter. It has dirty oil in it, so I'll just need to replace that filter with a new one. Yeah, so some of these items, make sure you've bought them the previous day or very early that morning, so you don't have to start running up and down looking for this item. This is my new oil filter right here. This is the old one, so I can't discard that. I wouldn't be needing the old one anymore. It's useless. So you take the item, the device that holds the oil filter. Some cars has their oil filter coming with, you just have to just screw it on the engine, but this is quite different. This is a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. Some of the designs are very different from every other car. So you tighten the oil filter seal, and you don't necessarily need to have to use the chain anymore, but make sure you give it a very good tight. You can't afford to have oil leaking out from that oil filter seal. So once you tie your oil filter, another thing I'd advise you to do is for you to jack the other side of the car. You have one side of the car lifted, the side where the sump nut is. So you want to jack your car on the other side so that every oil can drain out of the car. You want every oil out of that engine. You can't afford to have old oil contaminating fresh oil. So you jack it from the other side, giving it another angle twist so that all oil can drain out. So you have a total empty engine from old engine oil. So once you do that, and you take a closer look, you see that some oil are still dropping off the engine. Some few oil, you have it dropping. You give it some time, let every oil drop out of that engine. Please, every oil, be very patient. You can do this, let it sit for like some minutes, like maybe 30, 40, 50 minutes, 1 hour. It depends on when you stop seeing oil dropping. So but just be patient for all oil to drop out of that engine. Yeah, so that is it. The oil is all drained out. My engine is a 3.2 liter engine. That's a very big engine. I take about 2 gallons to service this engine. So you can see it's a lot of oil that came out from the engine. Very black. So surely due for servicing. So once you take out the pan, you want to go back under the vehicle to tie the sump. You want to tie the sump very tight to avoid oil from leaking off the engine. So make sure you tie the nut back on the sump very tight. Make sure it's very tight to avoid any leakage. You don't want your oil, your fresh oil, which you bought with a lot of money, to spill off your engine. So give it a very good tight with the same tool you use in losing the sump. So that is it for draining off the oil. So after draining off the oil, you've tied your nuts back on the sump. Take your fresh oil and pour into the engine. Depending on the size of your engine, if it's a 4-plug 1.8 liter engine, definitely I'll be using like just 4 liter. In my own case, I use a 3.2 liter V6 engine. So I'll be using 2 kegs of oil to properly gauge my engine. So that is it for changing oil in the engine. It is very easy. As you can see, no special skill here was required. No very advanced tool was required. The tools I used, I got it from my neighbor mechanic. So it's not difficult. You too can try this yourself.
Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned 1 or 2 things from this video. I hope you'll be willing and maybe have the courage to try to do this simple car maintenance yourself, to save you some couple of bucks. If you find this video helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed already to the Driverpreneur channel, please make sure you subscribe. And that is it from me to you guys. I need to go and take a good shower. I'm all greasy and dirty. So it's from the Driverpreneur to all you guys. I'm saying peace, stay safe.